All right, hello, and welcome back to another session of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Hope you guys are doing well as always. I bit my tongue, but let's get right into it. Still on episode 5, right? The Hound of Baskervilles. What's it called? The Unspeakable Story, right? I think last session where we left off, we've narrowed down, the third prime suspect. Because there was a third person with the Skulkin brothers. That man was Egad Benedict, or more known as Ashley Graydon, I believe. Who works in the communications office because of Juror number 5 recognized him in the photos. So he's there. We've accused him. I think the biggest thing was that Gina admitted to a bit of that perjury from the last case 2 months ago. And people are suspecting us now. It's like, this is the defense attorney who let Mr. McGilded run away. But hey, whose fault was it? I think it's Van Zeke's fault. But I think we left off with the box, right? That was moved, right? We try to explain to the court why Ashley, or whatever his name was, Ashley Graydon, was in the shop to begin with. And we said, oh, it must be because of this small box Mr. McGilded had put up for, what's it called? The pawnbrokery services. He deposited it. And Ashley claims that he never touched it. Or he never stole it. It was already in there, but it's been moved, right? So we have to check what's inside. The contents. Why is this so important? What is it? Why is it... Why did Ashley want this thing? Alright, the only item on the shelf that was touched by whoever broke in the shop. Alright, quick, let's open it and see what's inside. Oh, it's a music box. Wow, although, in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Or the music box disc, right? But yeah, also Graydon and Gregson are a bit suspicious. They're acting a bit suspicious. Don't know why. Play back of this disc, my lord. Yeah, here we go. I bet you it's not even music. I bet you it's like an actual voice recording. 100%. Or maybe it is a music. We'll find out in due time. Alright, now strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was the disc of the victim in the omnibus. Twice fired Mason. Alright, are we sure to understand the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? Maybe there's some damning evidence. I believe that the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord. Alright, yes. Let the court now listen to the curious disc at last. Alright, Gregson. Wait, my lord. Oh yeah, Gregson said not to put the... What if Lord Stronghand is involved in this? Let's find out. The music box and the disc are, well, they're unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the somber atmosphere in the carving with some silly bit of music. Alright, he's hiding something. This disc may very well have motivated the culprit in the case to commit murder. Or to this case. I think there's every chance that is fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection. But no. That piece of evidence is police property. Alright. Clearly Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. It is policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Alright. Maybe it is Lord Stronghand. Let's find out. Unless he plays a vital role in the second. Yeah, that's not certainly what I would call music. No. It's just the same notes playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Mr. Graydon? This really is priceless. After all that, the music box is broken. Broken? Can't be, can it? Well, obviously, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised. If the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the car room. Damn, he's blaming the officer who brought this over. Well, with much regret. I feel the car must accept this music box offers little in the ways of clues. Are you ready to move on, Counsel? Come on. Yes, alright. It does sound as though it's completely broken, but... is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? Is there anything on this? Anything? I would say yes. I believe that it could be relevant, my lord. Good lord. How can it be? It's an abomination, Counsel. Mere noises. Or mere noise. I fail to see how it can be in any meaning whatsoever. It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Graydon stands there, chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognized the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on edge. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh. He plays it again. Pray tell, what is this? Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? Is the defense to believe that the sound emanating from this music box is broken? Oh, not supposed to be music. It's Morse code. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean that the sound we're hearing are music. Look at that. The smile vanished from Graydon's lips as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Alright, making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Hurley, Runo. Objection. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not, I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Well, do you have an idea in mind? Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. It got me. I don't know what the answer is. I got the answer. It's Morse code. Runo? I just examined the music box very thoroughly. And I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. Yeah, alright. It's Morse code, we already know. Alright, well, if the music box isn't broken, it must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance. That is... oh, is that a mark on my... It's musical. I wonder where that mark came from. On my screen. Oh, quite a weird mark on this. Ah. Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Alright, I figured it out like ages ago. Way ahead of you, Bruno. I feel like recently in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like this one. This book in one? Where? Oh, right. In this car room. It's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. Alright, I think we're there. We're gonna have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not in fact music at all, don't know why I'm doing voices now, then what the devil is it, counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, is all pointing to one single answer now. Alright, the prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. I don't know if I have the proof. Alright then. This could be the best chance I'm gonna get to fight back in this trial. If I'm right, it's gonna to join all the dots together. Will it? The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... excuse me? Oh. What? I'm so confused. You know what? Let's save it a bit here. Okay, it's Morse code, but... let's do some examines, actually. It could be, this newspaper. This modern papers we contain leaked to foreign agencies. It might be that. Might as well. I'm going for it.
Take that!
Today's paper, Council. The headline is Pawnbroker Perishes in Pig Purse Plunder. Highly supportive of your cause. Ah, no, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down? Ministry Mall. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secured lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. Presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Jury number 5, your input, please. Stop. Oh, me, sir? Whatever is the matter? You told the court before that you work at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, did you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you worked deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh yes, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication stations at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? You don't mean to say, is it? That's right, madame. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called Morse code. But I don't believe it. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, there could be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code? Mr. McGill has got his work cut out. Order. Order, please, everyone, order! This is high treason, Council. Deserving of capital punishment. Too much new vocabulary. What is treason and what is capital punishment? The sorts of words I half expect you to know. For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yes, and on that night, 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGill did perish. An all-important disc laid unclaimed in the pawnbroker. My word. In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason punishable by death. So, the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it. In order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbroker illegally in the middle of the night. Because the article left behind Mr. McGill did would incriminate him too much. Things if it got into the wrong hands. Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous. Absolutely preposterous. So, in response to the defense accusations, can you complete innocent, do you? Well, of course I do. I had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Oh, damn. By all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies. Response to the accusations brought by the defense. Alright, good job, Van Zeeks. He's delighted, I'm sure. Well, I wouldn't say he's on our side, but he wants the truth. Alright. Flagtious. Flagtious? Flagtious? Offense. But the heinous act of high treason is no serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon.
Hold it!
Was that him? Was that Gregson? Oh, it's these guys. Got letters of Arid and Parky, Governor. We got things to say. Alright, I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Sulkin. Occupation is professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to sell out our motherland. That's right. We're what they call the Three Skulkin Brothers. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. Alright, I don't know why they're there. Gina's like knocked off. A mere communication officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sound produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiation with Mr. McGilded anyway, was it not? I have no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gaff the other night like what he told us to do. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Alright, so these guys are fighting. These two are fighting. Jeez. Alright, so they just admitted they went in. Mr. Skulkin. Yeah, one Mr. will do, Governor. What's up? Well, I take it that you now admitted to the crime. Yeah, that on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally. Moreover, you do so as a party of three in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here. We did, Gov. We did. Damn, they're actually admitting. That's a first. Quiet down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these two ruffians are referring to. Your little rotter gang is mixed up in all this monkey business. Never said nothing about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. And what about the geezers whose shop it was, eh? Old Broke didn't have to die, did he? Ah. Nice to know who your friends are. Guy snitching. Whatever these men say, I deny the accusations. Alright, let me get water. I had to like hack up a lung as well.
Hold it!
Alright, so is this newspaper headline accurate? Government communications are being intercepted. How could I possibly know? What do you mean by that? Any important government communications are handled by high-level officers, by specialists. General members of the staff and station where I worked never be entrusted with sensitive information. Oh no, stop. You must say something. Stop. Let me guess. Joe number 5? We regular communication station officers aren't as lowly as you're being led to believe. Alright, good job, Joe number 5. A team of us are responsible for setting up and testing the telegraphs used by the ministry. And Mr. Graydon is the team leader. Oh, well. Would you like to... Oh, isn't that funny, eh? Graydon is a highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in presence of idle, stop. Ah, my leg. Alright, so you have equipment used for these confidential communications, Mr. Graydon. Well, what of it? The transmissions are always made behind closed doors, so they can't be heard. And in any case, all messages are being sent enciphered. Normal employees couldn't possibly understand them. Oh no, stop. Must say something, stop. Mr. Graydon regularly attends meetings with ministry technicians and the ministry communication teams. He assists them in ensuring that there are no errors in important international communications, and he received the top prize at the Cipher Cracking Convention 5 years in a row now. Oh yeah, that's fascinating. Well, Graydon. Graydon is a highly skilled operator, stop. Currently in the presence of idle, stop. Well, your idol would appreciate it if you keep your mouth shut. You should really pick your idols more carefully. I tell you this, lawyer, accusations are completely unfounded. Besides, the sounds produced by the music box aren't even Morse code. Morse code. They're not? To anyone with a brain, it'll be blatantly apparent on listening to that music box for even a few seconds. Right, well, do tell us. Of course, of course. Surely it can't be that my learned friend is unfamiliar with Morse code. Ouch. He looks generally shocked at my ignorance. Ha ha ha. I would be more happy to demonstrate the basics of, for you, sir. Alright. Lesson, here in the card. Morse code is a continuous series of two distinct tones. Yeah. Tones, you say. A hold and a press, right? A dot and a long dash. Yeah, there we go. By combining those in different ways, you construct letters. For example, this is A. This is B. Really? That's pretty long, ain't it, for B? You only hear one tone, don't you? But it sounds so familiar. The rhythm of it is the same and everything. Yeah, but there's no discernible meaning to this apparent random sequences of sounds. Yeah, there's no dashes or dots. So your assertion is fundamentally flawed. This is not Morse code. Bad dudes. Really, you shouldn't be surprised. What did I tell you? That music box is nothing but a worthless piece of scrap. Perhaps you might consider studying your subject matter before casting aspersions in the future. Ugh, stop. Nothing to say, but stop. Oh, is it so frustrating, is it? Iris? Something to say? I mean, if the government secrets were somehow being leaked using the music box, so many other things would slide into place so nicely. Could there still be something I haven't considered? Alright, can I examine the box? Oh. There's something on the bottom here. Oh, where's it, Bruno? I've just noticed something about this music box. It looks like the bottom of it opens up as well. Ah, you're right. Well, onto it then. Let's open it. Here it goes. Alright, look at that. There's another movement on the other side. So, does that mean you can set another disc to play back on this side? Yes, I think so. It looks like two movements are linked together. They're linked. So if you had two discs, they would play back at the same time. Ah, so it's just one part. Who would have thought there would be a second movement on the other side of the box? This movement is like the other one. The comb's teeth, all the same. So the movement only produces one single tone like the other one. Yes, it must do. Except that the length of the teeth on the two combs isn't the same. So the tone produced by this movement will be different to the single tone we've heard already. So we're going to hear the dots and the dashes here. Alright. The music box that can only play two tones. That's it. I've got you, you son of a gun. Would it really be impossible to use this music box somehow to play back Morse code? Impossible? Give it a try. There's still every possibility that this music box was instrumental in the leaking of the government secrets. That's the belief of the defense, at least. Does it please you in some way, my Nipponese friend? Repeat the same line of argument ad infinitum? It's already been established to be in Norse code. Two tones are required, dots and dashes. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Then, what? I think it's still a part of it. But it would appear the defense has a hypothesis to put forward. You had better present your idea at once, counsel. How do you propose that this music box, which appears to produce only a single tone, could have been used to cipher secret messages into source code? Alright. The underside. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Seen this already? We can skip this part. There we go. There's another movement on the other side, underside. Alright, and let's control with this. There we go. The big got it. Goodness gracious. What am I looking here? Another movement on the underside of the music box? What? It appears, my lord, that the two movements are linked together. In other words, you can put two discs in the music box, and the sounds of both will be playing back at the same time. Good heavens! It's a chord as heard. Morse code comprised of two tones, a short dot and a long dash. With the second disc in place, this music box can be used to generate Morse code and convey a message. This is beyond a joke. I'm sorry? This poor excuse for a lawyer has no idea to support his claim. Though of course, if my learned friend were able to present the card with the second disc, that would be another matter. Well, I can't at the moment. May I remind the court that, as the witness has pointed out, yeah, striking a deal over the discs. Indeed, that was Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. Exactly. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Though it has holes, I must admit the argument presented by the defense has much promise. I believe the cross-examination should continue. The link between Graydon and the victim of the omnibus case must be there somehow. I haven't found it yet. But dear, it looks like you need to give your argument more strength, Bruno. You will reiterate your testimony. If I must, though, I maintain exactly what I did and to style this pointless cross-examination. He might be the son, I'm not gonna lie. Mason Milverton. I think it might be this. His name is Mason Milverton. We'll find out after we press here.
Hold it!
Actually, Graydon ain't his name. So 2 months ago in that omnibus, McGildy killed the brickman and installed the disc. Mr. Mason was a single man with almost nothing to his name. Oh, maybe he didn't have a kid. This doesn't make much sense though, does it? How would a humble brickmaker come to acquire secret government information? How indeed? There must be somebody else involved behind the scenes in all this. Somebody who acquired the disc and gave it to Mr. Mason in order to take it to the meeting with Mr. McGilden and negotiate a deal. Dear me. You may have it in for me, sir, but I assure you, I have far more class than that. An old brickmaker from an artisan quarter and this well-to-do communications officer. Only I could find some evidence to link the two of them together. All right, let's do this one.
Hold it!
Like Mr. Graydon told you to do, you mean? That's it, yeah. Who else, eh? So me thought we was just popping over for a natter after all them years, but the brother had a dodgy job for us. Hey, Ash? Let me stop you there, Mr. Skulkin. After all of them years, you say? These guys went straight. Is that how they say? They went straight. We're the sociable kind of baddies, you know? They say Graydon's an old China.
Excuse me.
Is something wrong, Mr. Skulkin? Eh? No, the other Mr. Skulkin. What? Who? Me? When your brother was testifying just now, he said something that seemed to cause you to react. Oh, I was just remembering the old days, that's all. We used to have an idle laugh together way back then. Together with Mr. Graydon, you mean? Yeah, with Ash. I mean, you look at him now and his fancy whistle and flute, and you wouldn't add him an even. When we was younger, he was from the poor part of town, just like us. That's so. But he was always a leery one. He had brains, he had the savvy. Always coming up with smart ideas, like what would have never gone through our heads. God blimey, ain't that the truth? Remember Milton and Skulkin's milk run? Excuse me, Milton. I was a corker, eh? Save until after the trial. You reminiscing has no past in the plate. Neither does your fruit. Oi! He's asked us a question, didn't he? And we was answering. Yeah, we ain't done nothing wrong. Nevertheless, the court is now prepared to accompany you on your trip down memory lane. Counsel, can we turn our attention back to the testimony, please? I don't know. Could that sentimental story be relevant somehow? Added to the testimony. My lord? Yes, counsel. The brother's last sentimental statement could hold vital information relating to this case. The Zato notes coming through will permit the brothers to supplement their testimony with that detail. Briefly, I hasten to add. Say no more, a skulkin's never skulkin. Wolfin and Skulkin's milkman. God, them were the days. I think this is it. I'm sure I'm going to regret asking, but what exactly was that? Some kind of business? Just a little scheme we had going back when we was youngsters. A bit of fun, really. Delivering fresh milk to the locals, that's what it was all about. It sounds alarming and legitimate. There must be a catch. I suppose since we're here, I should ask them to elaborate, but on what? The business name. So this business was just a bit of fun, you say, and it was just yourselves and Mr. Graydon involved? Yeah, that's it. Milverton and Skulkin's Milk Run, was it? Yeah, that's it. And where did the Milverton part come from? Oh, right. I thought a clever clogs like you would have worked that one out. That is... Enough of this. How much longer are we going to expect to listen to this drivel? I don't... Let me guess. You don't accept anything these two witnesses are saying. That's the more reason to. Tell me, why is that the only... why is that? Why is that? It was only at the mention of the name Milverton that you decided to interject. Because well... His name's Ashley Milverton. You're one of the happiest of homes that one came from. Yeah, his old man was struggling for money so much, his wife walked out on him. He took the name Graydon then, see. But Ash will always be a Milverton to us. Milverton? So that used to be your surname, did it? Of course not. This is all bunkum. I've been a Graydon since I was born. You really think I could rely on the testimony of these two thieves, huh? You're a communications officer attached to the civil service. As such, your personal details will have been thoroughly checked at the time of your appointment. It would be a very simple matter indeed to, what's it called? Subpoena these records, Mr. Graydon, subpoena. Subpoena? What's it called? Subpoena? Oh, subpoena or subpoena? It would appear that Mr. and Mr. Skulkin's testimony has been reliable for once. You were born Ashley Milverton, then? Is that correct? Come on, yes, please. Very well, yes. Ashley Graydon was once Ashley Milverton. I got you, you little... Got you now, you son of a gun. He was once a Milverton. Yeah, that's right, I got you now. I said, all of a sudden, we seem to have been up our necks in a serious matter of the national security. Although, all this talk about interception of secret governments, that's just still just conjecture at this stage. Oh yeah, no more heroes coming out, man. I need to do something about that. Maybe put an order in? The trouble is, it wasn't Mr. Graydon in the omnibus with Mr. McGilden. No, it was Mr. Mason, the bookmaker, who was so horribly murdered. Huh. If only there was some link between the two men somehow. I know, but Mr. Graydon's testimony seems to be as watertight as ever. I wonder if the key to her is making headway with the cross-examination here. It'd be those two brothers. Yeah, I got it, you son of a gun. Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Objection.
Mr. Ashley Milverton. Tell me, why did you try to hide your former name from the card? Because I haven't gone by that name for years. It means nothing to me. No, I don't think that's the real explanation at all. The truth is, you had a reason to hide that name. Explain yourself, please, counsel. I have here the notes from the omnibus case, my lord. As we all know, the victim, the man who we now understand to be negotiating with Mr. McGilded. Yes, Mr. Mason, the brickmaker. That's right. Only Mason wasn't his surname at all. It was his given name. His full name was Mason Milverton. Milverton? Do you mean to say Saints alive? Mr. Ashley Milverton. Is it not the case that the brickmaker Mr. Mason Milverton was your father? I don't. As I believe I mentioned earlier, your family history will have been thoroughly checked when you joined the civil service. And it really would take no time at all for the court to subpoena. I think it's subpoena. I forgot what it's called. Let's search it up again. We gotta learn this word. Subpoena. Yeah, it's P. I was right. Subpoena. Truth is... wait, hold on. Did I? Alright. Truth is, you've been illegally acquiring highly confidential government information and selling it to Mr. McGilded in collaboration with your father. The new facts and evidence unveiled by the cross-examination of this witness all come together to reveal the truth. The truth, you say? That you collaborated with your father, Mr. Mason Milverton, in illegal dealings with Mr. Magnus McGilded. By dint of this musical box, you mean, counsel? Yeah, stealing information being sent in secret government communications and selling it on to Mr. McGilded. Mr. Graydon concocted this elaborate scheme of using 2 music box discs to encode the information, as presumably a safety measure against the information falling into the wrong hands. And a very effective one. I shouldn't have given the scheme any credence whatsoever. Credence? The deal with McGilded went sour and the brickmaker met his end. Yes, but before he was arrested, McGilded managed to temporarily dispose of the stolen disc with the pawnbroker. Then, having learned of the situation, you appeared at Windybanks 2 days ago in an attempt to recover the 2 articles McGilded had placed in pawn there. Damn, did he kill? Did he kill McGilded? Are you suggesting that the second disc was inside the music box? Eh? We never know nothing about that. On the night that Mr. Windybank was killed. Yeah, the music box was moved, right? The intruder to the pawnbroker touched one item and one item alone. The music box. It's rather ingeniously demonstrated using the 2 prints from the security camera indeed. So the question that naturally begs answering this. Why was only that one article disturbed? The answer is obvious. Because it contained the second disc, which the intruder was desperate to retrieve. Since it were to fall in the hands of the police, it would be proof of high treason. Well, Mr. Graydon, do you deny that all of this actually began on that fateful night 2 months ago? I refuse to accept any of this nonsense. Sir, there appears to be blood seeping through the sleeve of your jacket. What? 2 nights ago, we know that 3 shots were fired at the scene of the crime in Windybank's pawnbrokery. One took the life of the pawnbroker himself. One struck the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the final bullet struck the calendar on the wall of the shop, having first pierced the arm of one of the intruders. Mr. Graydon, that wound on your arm that you seem to be trying to hide. It's a bullet wound, is it? Got you now, me old China. Have to call it quits and croak, I reckon. Don't acknowledge my presence there under any circumstances whatsoever. Those were my terms, remember? And I paid you handsomely to comply. Really, I was a fool to think I could trust some common black slums thieves. Hey, wasn't one of these guys your friend? And I admit it. I was there at Winniebank's last night. I paid these pair 10 guineas to accompany me. And as you've noticed, I sustained an injury in the course of my adventures. But that is all. I admit to nothing more. Stealing government secrets, negotiation with Mr. McGilded. As God is my witness, I'm sure I recall nothing of the sort. He's not going to go down without a fight. Until I could show him hard evidence, I suppose. Nevertheless, the defense has now established a crucial fact. Which is, well, we know that one bullet was fired from each of the 2 firearms we have in evidence. The bullet from the Sulkin brothers' gun hit the pouch around Mr. Sholmes' waist. And the bullet from Mr. Winniebank's gun clearly must have been the one that caught Mr. Graydon on the arm. Indeed it must. We can rule out the possibility that the man shot himself. Yeah, let's just say he was the one who killed Thimjik. That leads us to one conclusion. Mr. Winniebank was shot by a third gun, which can only be fired by the third intruder. Goodness. That's right, Mr. Graydon. It doesn't matter if you stole government secrets or not. The only person who could have possibly have shot Mr. Winniebank that night is you.
Hold it.
Who's that? Him? Yeah, he's got quite the posh accent. You little upstart. You made a grave mistake when you summoned me here. What? What's that supposed to mean? He's got a gun. Yes, as you rightly say, I was there at the pawnbrokers. I did my best to hide the fact, naturally. I had no intentions of ruining the distinguished career I built for myself at the communication station. But did the thought never cross your mind? Did you never consider the possibility? What? What do you mean? What thought? What possibility? Possibility that if I was there at the scene, I may have witnessed the crucial moment. You see, this makes me a key witness in the case, and I have my hands firmly around the neck of your client. What? Are you suggesting? I saw it all. I saw the very moment that pickpocket girl pointed out the gun at the pawn defense's pawnbroker and shot him. You what? You what? Order, order, order. Well, it would seem we are finally entering the last act of this theatrical trial. Mr. Graydon, you're an asshole, you know that? I trust you are fully aware of the implications here. If it is shown that your claim is false, you will have incriminated yourself as the killer. Oh, I understand fully. Then I must ask you to give your formal testimony once more. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. Alright, I'll get him. Don't worry, I'll get him. I'll get him. While these ruffians were jostling with a broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. We went back through Nash over the counter. I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Pursue the man, but he shuts himself in the storeroom. I can see him through the peephole in the door, though. The accused, in a black coat, shot the man in the back as he was trying to flee to safety. Alright. I saw the blood splatter all over that wretched girl. She didn't have blood on her. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. Well, I saw the contradiction. You are a stupid man, aren't you? You are a silly little man, aren't you? Don't worry, we'll bring your claim, sir, under oath. You've clearly seen the defendant pull the trigger. Yawn. Yawn. Order, order, order. It was my intention to testify in this way. Neither is my intention to be found guilty of murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced. I'll tell you the truth now as an act of self-preservation. Truth? Till now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, well, sorry about that. Don't shot me in the eye, the pawnbroker. Oh, but... Oh, I was gonna, like, lock my jaw there. Jesus. Don't yawn with your mouth too wide. You say the blood splattered over the accused code. Are you sure on that point? He doesn't know. He doesn't know. The code could somehow be shown to harbor vestige of blood. That would be conclusive evidence here. And we got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Possible, we got in. Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. German scientist? So here's to true science, not to some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry. There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound. Ideas are no use to us here in science, as in law. Theories must be proven before they stand. Alright, come on. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a quantity of the chemical reagent used with your lordship's permission. Alright, he just threw that into the lanterns, eh? We could shatter all vestige of doubts within minutes. Minutes? It doesn't look good, we know. Why not? Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat. They tested with their chemicals. Oh, help. You're right. I wasn't forgetting what happened yesterday. Don't move, Ginny, but it's pink, not blue. But I don't know if we're going to use the code, right? Yeah. Purple, like that. Yeah, but that's not Windybank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. While we await the results, the defense may proceed with the cross-examination. Uh-oh. Must they find that blood on the overcoat? Gino will be. Counsel? Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or compelling clue now, I have a really bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. I don't think we're finding any evidence. That was my evidence. The code. The code was my evidence. Ah. Alright, I was still near the entrance to the shop. Were you, little shed? Yeah, makes sense. Alright, I'm gonna order it. I'm gonna order it. Alright, that was the doorways, something. I'm looking for the music box, of course, yeah. Roker went in for the Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined in, making it 2 against 1, so I assumed he could handle the situation. I was wrong. I was trying to help me little bro, but the old geezer chucked me over the blooming counter. How does he know the code, actually? Isn't he at the door? Sorry, Gov. Yeah, wasn't he at the door? I don't need to do that. He pursued. Alright. He pursued. Alright. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. And what about this peephole in the door you mentioned? Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom door is a solid job made out of stout wood. There is a small opening in about head height that allows you to see what's in there from the outside. Actually, I should know about that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. Damn, look at that, those eyes. And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went through this peephole as well? Not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov. None of these two buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence. So the Skulking brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windbag take place. Good to say they're innocent then. He got shot in the back though. Alright, the girl raised her gun and pointed straight at the man. Alright. Then what do you see? See someone followed? Then I'm assuming he's a bot. Let's auto while I do something here. Alright, ban that asshole. Alright, as you established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. Ah, but no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from Windybank's gun grazed my arm, and yes, the Skulking's gun grounded the detective. This was another gun entirely. A third gun. The broker's gun was not the same murder weapon, so clearly there had been another firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had their own gun with her at the same time. But no other gun was found at the scene. Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry? You must consider the events in order. First, I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then, all of a sudden, the broker turned to the run. And it was at that moment that little gutter rat shot him in the back. Ah, oh, jeez. There it goes. There's the back theory gone. Saw blood splattered all over the wretched girl. Wait, hold on.
Hold it!
All over her? All over her? Well, clearly, yeah. Of course, the stains are invisible now. Alright. With the coat being such a dark color. I assure you, the garment is sullied with the victim's blood. Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure. It's not Mr. Windybag's blood, is it? Nope, that's right. It's Mr. Mace's Milverton, blood, yeah. So annoying. If they only accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that, yeah. They won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence as part of our case. Oh no. Yeah, they kind of banned that. This guy got us. Then she tossed the gun. Excuse me? What the hell is this? No, it wasn't. What the fuck is that contradiction? What? Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room. That's right. After the pawnbroker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Over where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. But why on earth would she do that? Couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there, in case any more tragedies took place. So it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Alright, where's the gun? Where's the gun now? Yes, it was yours truly. Huh. I left it clear up to my lackeys and left. Clear up. Yeah, we made a bit of a mess of the counter, so Mr. Whistling Food here told us to tidy up. He thinks he blooming mum sometimes. Well, I was paying you enough, by God. Ugh. Sorry, Mr. Graydon. Yeah. Is by any chance the second disc in your jacket pocket? You're like a bull out of gate, aren't you? Whoa, what the hell's going on here? Gentlemen? Jesus Christ, what the hell's going on? Something's wrong, Sunshine? That should be my line. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin. Why me? This dude's a bit of an oogling. Ain't he? Oogling. What's going on just now? You saw him. He grabbed me and whistled. Why the blazes, he said, didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down the station? And why didn't you? Because we didn't know nothing about it. All the flaming people in the door. Sorry about that. I could be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you? God, blimey. See the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this dude's giving me the willies. Giving me the willies. That's strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. You wouldn't normally grab someone. No, that wasn't like Gregsy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light, no matter what I say to him. Well, yeah, to you. I think you might be a special case, Iris. Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character. Well, that's it? We're just gonna leave it there? What's your feeling, Rulo? As much as I hate to admit it. There's no holes in that damn... Alright, I gotta do the last one because I skipped it. Alright. Why should German scientists' test be acceptable evidence? Mine and Hurley's wasn't. They can use test tubes too. Never mind that. Let's find the really stacked testimony somewhere here. Maybe we shouldn't be pressing. Something to do with here. I don't even know. Alright, the third bullet. Oh no, this is not the... This is the one in Mr. Strom's code. I don't even know. What the hell? Should I do the second one? We didn't do that.
Hold it!
Yeah, you mean the moment when you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realize what happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter as the three men were brawling. And that bullet went on to strike the calendar in the wall behind you. So it would appear. When I looked at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped a handkerchief around it. Seeing as it could explain what had happened to the doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windybank intend to shoot you, do you think? Well, now, I don't imagine he ever even noticed I was there, to be honest. Yeah, went off accidentally. Well, anyway, it didn't quite strike home. I tried to shove him out of the way, but then he scampered through the door at the back. My lord, yeah, this is it. Requesting your lordship permission to interrupt. Explain yourself, officer. I have the result of the test we ordered. Ah, the blood. On the accused's overcoat? Yeah, Bird. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objections, counsel? No, my lord. Well, there you have it. Report, please, Inspector? Yes, sir. The traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. For the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the results of splattering following a gunshot wound. End of report. Splattering? Yeah, German's wrong. Germany, you fucked up. You fucked up, Germany. See? What did I tell you? No, the blood on the coat is not Mr. Windybank's. What on earth making you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybank's, McGilded had been fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. The blood on the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case. Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? That's true. Sorry. 2 months ago, in the very courtroom, did you not argue vehemently for Mr. McGild's innocence, and then now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer? Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned yourself in this country. I call it a bally disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is. have to determine whether the blood on the code is 2 months old or not. Even a stereoscope couldn't help the answers to that problem pop out. Can't be done. But use Mr. Shlom's specially formulated chemicals. Mr. Shlom's is a detective, not a chemist. Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I'm a communications officer? I held out Pirsky to starving boy and he ran away crying. Alright. Sherlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom, no weight at all. Damn, they don't give a shit about detectives, don't they? they don't give a damn. Victory is sweet indeed. This proves my testimony is the whole truth from start to finish. As the witness has said, the accused overcoat was splattered with blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known that fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimonies are solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in the case. That. The whole truth. Alright. Dollars on the ropes there. My lord. Been a long battle this one, but this World War Hearts has something to say, if you now please. Time for the summation examination once again.
Guilty.
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 Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached an unanimous verdict. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness testimony. Here's to any attempt you may make on unpicking the juror's decision being equally successful. I don't believe it. After I've come so far, how is it all unraveling on me so fast? How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. When you agree, Mr. Naruhodo. Officer? You deliver the report now. That'll be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some irregularity, Mr. Naruhodo. Is this Sherlock Sholmes? That scientific truths are determined not by science, but by no other than the human mind. I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah. Mr. Sholmes in the courtroom. What's the meaning of this? Oh damn, he's got the poses on down pat. Order, order, order. What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. Well, I got out early, as well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand. What errand? Early. It's really you. You were awake at last. Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Van Zieks? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly, having spent so long already, we don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. Yeah. Very well, counsel, you have 5 minutes. Oh damn, he's here. My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright now? Alright. I'm all wrong. Sorry. I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I've asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that might prove too much for me. Pray forgive me, should I pass out. Let's make this discussion as short as possible then. Hey, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is. Ah, well, that concussion of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community, an oversight on my part. Right. Modesty. Surely or none. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. Oh, what's that? Lavender furoshiki wrapping. A leaving present from Mr. Zato. Mr. Zato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were instructions when she asked me to do this, to do that, yes. I don't understand. Mr. Zato foresaw today's events, but I believe. She knew that the couple would attempt to escape justice by means by devious and underhand. That you, Mr. Naruhodo, finding fairly as you are, wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril. At that very moment of crisis, you will be given this small parcel. This were the dear lady's instructions. Leaving present from Mr. Zato. Whatever could it be? The dog? What? Oh, it's the machine I made. Ah. Yeah, it's the cat flap machine. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. What is that? I call it the cat flapper man. Make a cat flap from a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. Why though? What's Susie's up to? Yeah, I need to take a drink. Oh, she muttered the following words. Didn't she say something like that? Failure of a judicial assistant. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. Why though? Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Shlomes? That night when you left Windy Banks in pursuit of the thieves, Mr. Zato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. Excuse me? There's something not all cryptic then. Zato used this cat flapper man that night, but why? Huh? Where? Where, when, and where? Ooh. I'm so confused. There's a big mystery on our hands. The 5 minutes is over. Oh, we're out of time already? Alright. Mr. Shlomes, good night. Hope you rest up. I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? The rest is down to you, my dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests summation examination. Now it's come to this. My only chance is to appeal the jurors and try to change their minds. What do you think you're doing, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry? What of Mr. Zato's gracious gesture? Oh. Would you let this final piece of evidence she left you go to waste? Final piece of evidence? This is not a time for inaction. This is time to hear from a witness. But is it not possible for me to bring in a... Oh, alright. Okay, I see. I don't think that's what Hurley means. I get you now. I've got a witness. I got a witness. The defense has nothing more to add. I think we should proceed to the adjudication. Wait, my lord. The defense requests further cross-examination.
Objection.
Well, there we go. The quick objection of Van Zieks. The juror has spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness, rather to continue with one of the existing witnesses. One? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. My lord. I don't understand. Who the hell am am I cross-examining? Alright, it's his previous statement, right? Back to, so nobody can really say anything then. Court is obliged started. It's absurd. What do you say, Judge? I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request a continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding cross-examination. Oh god, whoa. One statement? And but one piece of evidence to present the support of the claim. Oh, shoot. Oh god, this is where we save. This is where we save. This is all clear, counsels. You would not press the witness any further. My lord. Right, my lord. One statement. And a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's time. I fell in a dead faint. I leave this in your capable hands. Oh, damn. Thud. Mr. Shlomes! Damn. You just felt like a regular guy. Stands wherever it is, before the court in a state of such a high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Strike a man while he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel. Are you fully prepared? Yes, one statement. One piece of evidence. One opportunity. Gonna let that go? Let that slip. Oh, one opportunity. Gonna let it go? Gonna reach out to it? I'll let it slip. His arms are heavy, knees weak. Arms are sweaty. Moment on sweat already, mom's back. Oh! Alright. The music's picking up. I save. I gotta listen. No pressing. No pressing. It's one of these statements. When William bag threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though. Is it this? The peephole? There's only one peephole, but there's two. I saw the blood splatter over the wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out the peephole. Oh god. Cataflap. Let's look at the cataflap. Can't find anything out of place. Ooh, those vicious teeth looks like they can rip through almost everything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time. And what are the two parts on the top there? Ah, those are attaching hinges to the section of the door. Oh. Oh my god, the peephole didn't even exist in the first place. The peephole didn't even exist in the first place. Because I saw the irises thing. Oh my god, but which stamen? I think it's this stamen right here. Peephole did not exist.
Objection.
What on earth? Is that a century contraption council? Oh, it's my cat flapper man, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of the room. You can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without the owners having to open the main door. I'm sure we can all work out that for ourselves. But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there's no cat flapping in the pawnbroker's door. Huh. Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I failed to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I describe its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all. I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say? 2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of which the Winnie Bang had taken place. That's right, according to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Shlomes. Yes, the 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time. Your assistant did what? There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked room. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could have I witnessed the crime for pity's sake? Yes. How could you? What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean. Alright, it's time. Final blow. What I mean is, my lord, my assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. What? No!
Objection!
This is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was... Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device. The assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. That is the most serious act of vandalism, which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Literal holes. Riddled with... Explain yourself, counsel. The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Well, why did Susanna make the hole though? I wonder what was that. Order, order, order. Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection.
Oh, big objection. None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize. Exactly. There's some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe? Don't worry. I think we've got... I think we've got the... We've got more evidence, right? It must be surely here. 130. Yeah, there we go. We've got the evidence right here. And then 130. The door. Oh my god. It's actually... It was there the whole time. Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It could go through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second. Alright, I had a feeling you said that. What? Waggy? Gooey? Time for dinner. She made a hole in the... Made a hole in the card. Well? Ah! Young lady! This is the Old Bailey. One does not make a cat flap in the Oaks paneling at the Old Bailey. I'm not done yet. Don't worry. This doesn't mean that the people in the storm that Winnie Banks was made by your machine. And there's no way you could prove it that I was. No, but it's easy. One, the cat flaps by Clapperfam Parades are all of a fixed size. The dimension of the people at Winnie Banks are an exact match. Ugh. Alright, old Silky's lost for words. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. But how did you put a knob on it? Wasn't there a knob on the door? I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of the argument, let's assume the peephole has dimensions that had perfect fit for this contraption. Alright. And that's the case. When was the peephole cut? Man's proof? I gotcha. I got proof. I gotcha, Van Zeeks. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about that. I gotcha. Now, the perpetrator has returned to her native land. She cannot testify to that fact. There's no proof. Ugh. I forget, for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, our learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation. Oh, don't worry. No need to hit you back on that. Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, counsel? To give up now, Bruno. We're right there. Yes. It's time to create your own opening, your way through. Don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Zara-san, the greatest judicial assistant in the world. He is. After the events, not before. Is this the 131? Let's check. Yeah.
Take that!
Defense believes this is all the proof the court should need.
Objection.
Oh, you son of a bitch. That's correct. Alright, maybe it's the other one, actually. Maybe it's the other one. Actually, it might be the other one. Because 1 o'clock was the... Alright, I showed the wrong photo. There is. Iris. There is. Wait, after the incident. Alright, yeah, there we go. You said it. I got you. I'm... Alright, here we go. This one.
Take that!
For you. A print from the detective's infernal cameras again. My judicial assistant, Mrs. Zado Mikitoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had any cause to doubt. As she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof. And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel. This print. See, a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premise. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielding a gun in the direction of the defense's broker. Nothing more to the point. It pictures the storeroom's door in the background. Let's see that print again. You're right. This is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom. It's completely devoid of the peephole of any description. Ah! Mr. Graydon. You couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in that door. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies. Spinning. No, he's back up again. Order. I am satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness testimony was entirely whatever it is, fallacious? Fallish? That's not the only thing we know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with the crime scene. But more importantly, there's more, Lord Van Zeeks. Defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury. Then, defendant. That is no proof that this man is the victim's killer. Yes, that's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. That's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I'm the victim here. Oh, please. No. I don't believe this. They're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit. Still, he can't worm his way out of this one. Yeah. You know what they say. There's no point in locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Is that right, Bruno? Is it? That's how he always says. One lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, the lies you told make no sense. Makes no sense? What do you mean by that? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there is a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
What? This is provocative talk, counsel. Would you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Oh, wait, hold on. I was just right. One lie begets another. Hold on. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies. Alright, it showed that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known. Oh, tossing the third... Yeah, the third gun. Here's the third gun. Third gun. Do you have any idea what you're saying, my Nipponese friend? Absolutely. I've been studying English hard as... Oh, no, tell me I was wrong. I failed to catch my meaning. The witness had admitted to removing the gun in question from the scene himself. Did he? No, he didn't. Did he? Precisely, but who else but this man could have known of the third gun? Alright, I mean the... God fucking damn it. God damn it. I mean the... God damn it, dude. No, that's not what I meant, dude. How did the third gun go through the peephole, you dumbass? Oh, I'll get there, you son of a gun. Alright, the bloodstains on the code. I don't know if this one's right. Alright, there we go. There we go, got him. The point is not that you've lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. Alright, you're not making any sense. Let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously Has the court got your tongue, witness? The people on the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Winniebank's constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Yeah, of course, this is getting a bit suspicious now. Consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that it exists and forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection.
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnesses the crime take place through the people in the door. How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks? Speak, Inspector. Just that I thought I really ought to be getting back to the station now and putting my report. There's really nothing more I can do to add this testimony, so if it's all the same to you, permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not all. You will remain exactly where you are until the end of this trial concludes. Of course, sir. All right. What the hell? Why is he informed by Gregson? My learned friend. You realize I trust that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes, but the defense believes that the deals about this case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be. Who's the person in question, counsel? Who gave this witness details of the crime scene to felicitate his false testimony?
Take that!
Truth is, it can only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Huh? Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend. Consider the fact that we've only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's death for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today. Indeed, preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess, while the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here for the communications station. An inkling that he would certainly be required to appear in the court. Are you suggesting that's until such time as he was summoned? Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume that he knew nothing of the people. I'm gonna autoplay an event here. Wait. You're suggesting that the court... Wait. That he was the third intruder. You're suggesting that the court that it was while this trial was in progress, he received the information that he could have committed perjury. Is he actually the Skulkin brothers? The one person with knowledge of the investigation had any contact with? It's you, Inspector Gregson. This is a blooming outrage. Why would I be giving away deals of our investigation to this fellow, eh? Huh. Or summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Have you forgotten that? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means... First time these two laid eyes on each other was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they have been in full view in the stand where such illicit discussions couldn't have possibly occurred. Ah. Ooh, I've just remembered something, Runo. What is it, Iris? There was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying, yes. Now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to receive Mr. McGill's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. He was doing that testimony. Yeah, I remember that. Mr. Graydon and the Inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. It would be impossible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then. You little toe rag, you're making us all up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke? Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it must be a voice or it was above. Yeah, it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense. What deal, counsel? I wonder if perhaps in exchange for deals about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. What? Sure, I need not remind the inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of maleference?
Objection!
Maleferences? Maleference. It's become clear that jumping in with the accusation this Nipponese student speciality. I don't do that. With the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to the baseless charges. Whoa. Evidence. Just why are you proposing that the inspector demanded the witness in return? If the Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for, the second disc. Bruno, do you think he could be... Yes. It's a missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. I'm going to press you for an answer now, counsel. What evidence explains the nature... Might be this.
Take that!
Inspector Gregson. Why did he do that? I didn't expect Gregson to be like this. Besides this murder, it's not true. Is it not true that you've been working on another very important case? What? What are you getting at now, Sunshine? Is it possible that this other top secret case is what alluded to this newspaper article here? Classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. How the bleeding Noah could you discover during the course of this trial the music box deposit and windy bags by Magnus McGilded? Special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. We seem very likely now, and encoded on the pair of discs that were in Mr. McGilded's possession. Are the leaked classified secrets. So, I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of this case. What the fuck are you doing, Gregson? Order, order, order! On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windybags, you said this. I'll be taking that whatever it is of Mr. Gill is down to the yard, thank you very much. I'll hand it over. No, don't give it to him. It's mine, it's mine. Sorry, miss. If anything belonging to Mr. McGilded has been taken in as evidence now. Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? And Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of the government secrets. My orders were, recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush. And that explains why, when I present this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information. Well, I mean, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all. I need to scratch my hair here. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of the music box disc, why you strike the deal? Yeah. You did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness. To aid and abet this man in giving false testimony. There's no other way that Mr. Grace could have known of this existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. No. No,
Objection!
If, and I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be the found in truth, it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this very room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What's that supposed to mean? As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this manner. No, he would have insisted of having the article agreed upon in the panel's hand. Goodness gracious, then you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person. Yes. The offense demands that the inspector is searched at once. Definitely. They could have only struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before, and Gregsy haven't moved from the witness stand since. My lord, please. Order examination of this personnel facts immediately. Well, Inspector? This young man wants to tone down his imagination. He's assaulted me and my profession quite enough. However, if you put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, I'll highly submit to a body search. What? It's going to agree with it. I presume you're aware of the precipice of what you are now teetered, my learned student friend. You made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If following the search of the inspected personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end. My country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded. That sounds serious. All right, don't do it. Hey, stop it. Stop the search. Don't. Holy shit. Don't. It's just threatening Runa because you're scared. Oh god, what if it... Oh my god. It's been up and down this case. True. Can't imagine Gregson would have slept in a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here. Very well, counsel. You know the implications, so let me ask you one final time. Yes, my lord. You still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspected personal effects? Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta save this. I gotta save this. I'm gonna search for someone else. Yes, the defense formally demands the search be conducted. Well, don't say you weren't warned. Your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good. Fair enough. I've got nothing to hide. Very well then. I'll have to conduct the search on the inspector's personnel effects, please. Oh, defense demands the search. No, I'm Inspector Gregson. What? Now what's all this? I'm one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you were searching me. No, Inspector. Not you. Somebody else. Who? Oh my god, I don't know if I'm going in the right tracks. Quiet, all of you. Bruno's doing what you all told him to do, and having the courage of his own convictions. You should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way. That's the British way. Hey-oh, way. What's that, young lady? Oh god, who the hell am I searching, though? Who the hell am I searching? Don't be hasty, my lord. About the things I've seen today, I'm fairly sure that I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be. Oh my god, who could it be? Is it actually Graydon? Oh, it can't be these guys. It must be Graydon.
Take that!
Oh, fucked it up. Oh, fuck's sake. There goes one. Ooh. Oh my god, who is it? Who is it? Oh my god, is it Mel Strong? Oh my god. He can't... Who is it? Oh my god. I don't know. Have I been bluffed? He was so confident. Is it Stronghard? Alright, let... Does he have it? Oh my god, I don't even know who.
Take that!
No, don't. No, 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 no. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking... I'm gonna do it. I'm doing him. I'm doing Gregson. What, is it Gina? Does she have the code on her? Oh, let's do Gina. Oh, never mind. I think that's it. Oh, God. Who is it? Oh, God. Fuck.
Take that!
Alright, time to do Gregson.
Objection!
Oh, my God. Who is it? Am I stuck? Don't tell me I'm stuck. Search Graydon already. Oh my God, who could it be? Well, one of the brothers?
Take that!
Oh God. Mr. Nash Skullkin. Me? Him? Very well then. Bailiff, I mean?
Hold it!
Please, my lord. Inspector? Scotland Yard, has to object to the church. Alright. Oh, right. When they were... Oh my God, I found it. Alright, I realized. It didn't click to me. It didn't click. That was a shame. It was when they were both tugging each other. There was only one moment. Personally, I have no intention of destroying the course of this trial. Me? Him? Bailiff, carry out the search. Yeah, he's fucked. Now, hold on the mo. I don't know nothing. Nothing about the no desk. Put it out. Out. Ah. Here, my lord. In this witness's pocket, I found this. You son of a bitch. Gregson, you are an asshole. Yeah, I hope Gregson gets fired. Fuck this guy. This guy's ass. I had some respect from this man. Not anymore after this. I'm disappointed in you, Gregson. Hope you get fired and live on the streets, bro. Gordon Bennett. Yeah, alleged deal. Then, for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for inspector? Yeah. Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. At one particular point in this trial, he exhibits some unusual behavior for a brief moment. I don't recall. What unusual behavior? It was, yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance the second disc in your jacket pocket? Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, he didn't all. That was mugging, was gonna fall clean off, I did. On me noggin. I always wish I'd been born as my brother, I was. And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that? Ain't got no clue. He just suddenly grabbed me, whistled like that, and started shaking me. Why the blazes did you mention the third gun when you got down to the station? That's what he said. He yelled it right down my ear, all he did. My head's still throbbing now. The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. It must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created himself in order to hide the disc. Well, bless my wig, he hid it. You... I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. The detective had acquired the disc he was after. Why on earth would he proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is called law. He could have submitted the item as evidence. It would appear, my lord, the inspector was not all liberty to do that. However not. As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions. Yeah, that's true. But no way. He's just thrown everything. He threw this case upside down because of what he did. Screw this guy. Screw this guy. I lost my respect from Gregson. But shush, a top secret assignment, is it? As we're aware, the information stolen comes from the confidential government communications. It seems that if the information were to be revealed and caught as evidence, it would be problematic. Well, I'm going to play it. Is that somehow the situation, Inspector? Alright, I'm operating under direct orders from the Ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question. So, realizing that there was a chance that you may be searched and caught, you took some steps to hide the disc you acquired from the witness. Ah, does this mean you only pretended to attack Mr. Skulky in order to get close enough to him? Slipped the second disc into his pocket. So, you did that? It was all a pretense, huh? Well now, Inspector Gregson. And you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit the accusations made against you of this alleged deal? Admit to it? Yours truly, please. Oh no, Mr. Graydon. Clearly our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed the disc to an inspector. But then, how do you explain the reason why you knew about the peephole? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit. So sentence me accordingly. That is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with the detective. All of this, the young Eastern man's fancy. I have no idea what is any of this about. You. What? Again. You what? You what? Well, what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you mean to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc? Ladies and gents of the jury, as a Scotland Yard inspector, I will declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done has been in the name of justice. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I do like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making a decision. This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such an extraordinary tumultuous nurse in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of my further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final hearings. As a fellow servant of the Queen of the country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector. What the fuck? This is like some next level antagonist. Oh no. It's nearly 2 o'clock as well. This is going crazy. I don't believe it. These 6 jurors they're going to believe Gregson if they declare the decision now. Is Ginny going to be found guilty? If we don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then we're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank or stole those government secrets, or some evidence to force Gregson into admitting that he struck a deal with the witness. Those are my 2 options, huh? I think it's time I impose on the jurors to declare that final decision now. That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court. Let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings. Ginny will be found guilty. There's no choice then, Bruno. You have to throw some more evidence. How is the summation examination? Who do I present against? Ooh, crack. Well, I'm not going to leave it to the jury. Alright, let's check. Let's take a look. Let's take a look in our records here. What kind of records do we have? Cataflap. Bullet. Music box disc. How did he kill Mr. Windybank? I have nothing. I actually have nothing. I don't know how I could make such a... Could I present evidence against Gregson or Graydon? No idea. I have no idea. I need to think quick. How did Gregson struck a deal? Just talk to him. Mr. Graydon, there's one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. You misguided fool. Whatever you intend to show me now, you'll be wasting your time. I have nothing left to lose. I assure you, I will admit to nothing. This is my last chance. I'm gonna force his hand here. One final piece of evidence he struck. Oh my shit, maybe. One final piece. One final piece of evidence. Is this the autopsy report? I have no idea. I have no idea. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Take that!
Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Alright. Who is it? Something... I think it's just GG's that we leave to the jury, right? What kind of deal they struck? It's the redemption ticket, but still. Did they strike a deal? What deal, though? Nothing here. Oh, fuck it. Leave it to the jury. Can't possibly decide this. All I can do is leave it to the jury's capable hands of this. No, Bruno. Look how far we've come. This is the final stretch. Explosive piece of evidence. And throw out the weakness witness. Hard. Alright, just before you do. Just before you do. You deserve an explosive punishment for that weakest decisions. Oh my god, I don't even know. What? What's the evidence? Shit. Gregson, oh, fuck. Anything here? See how the form Mr. McGillicuddy sits in the box. He'd be more than a perfect fit. So there's no question then. This was decided to play in this music box. Oh my god. Which one is it, guys? I have no idea. I have no idea. Let's go to Gregson then. There's one final piece of evidence I'd like you to see. What's that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, you have no choice but to examine this piece of evidence. Thoroughly. Thoroughly? Something thoroughly. Is this?
Take that!
Nope. Oh, I don't know, guys. This is... I don't know. Oh, God. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm stuck. When they were using in the stand, what's more, there no love lost between them. Clearly, it was strictly business. Old Silky's going to admit it anytime soon. But Gregson, on the other hand, he's just refused to admit what happened because he was sworn to secrecy out of sense of duty. I wonder, if Grixie's lips are sealed because he's determined to do his duty, and perhaps to prise them open. You're going to have to be determined enough to do your duty too, you know. Do anything to do his orders. The papers? The representation papers? I don't know. Oh god, we've got one last chance. Alright, so it's not going to be... Alright, hold on.
Take that!
Oh, I messed it up. Well, god damn it. Jev, you pressed the wrong button. Well, now it ain't the representation papers. At least I got that one out of the way. Alright. Inspector Gregson, come here, you little shit. Alright, come on. One final piece, something clear. An order from the higher up. An order. I don't see shit. An autopsy, Scotland Yard. Manuscript.
Take that!
No, it's not the manuscript. Oh god. I'm at straws here. What could it be? I'm stuck.
Take that!
Alright, the music box desk. I was thinking long and hard for it. Seems like that is. Alright, the sound produced? Alright, okay. Goodness, the council. No, wait. I can't let you do that. Why not? Because, well, it's got nothing to do with this case. That's why. Not true, Inspector. The defense has already proposed. The sounds heard by the court earlier from this music box were part of a Morse code message. You know that Morse code comprises of two distinct tones. The defense believes the second disc contains the second tone. Yeah, and now we have a chance to confirm this theory. Carrying out sunshine. We're talking about state secrets here. If you go in the whole courtroom, hear confidential information like that, it's treason. Do you admit the charge? And in order to protect those state secrets, you engage in lawful dealings with the witness. Yeah, you're mad. If you let the secret information out in the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot. Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, lead confidential case details to the witness. That you continue to lie in court, and all because by fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Well, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine. Don't you dare. I will stop at nothing to protect my client. I don't care who I make an enemy of. My lord, if you please, the court must hear the sounds made by the music box. Come on, Fantasy, for peep's sake, stop it. Got the foot up. Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. Just let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth by fair means or foul. Very well. The defense stands here, and that of the prosecution has been made very clear. Here, the loser box. It's Morse code. Alright, I admit it. Whatever you want. For the love of God. Shut the blooming box up. Alright, fuck you, Gregson. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you or did you not strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Gleason? Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the peephole in the pawn book storeroom door, Inspector? Put this guy in cuffs. Put this guy in cuffs. Stop. What are you doing, man? Not exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after recess, we were stood here in the stand together. That's when you approached with me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile. Shut up! Psst, you there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbroker the other day, aren't you? You may have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. But how about a trade I suggest you accept? Or information that will make me, may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. Couldn't let that information become public knowledge, not under any circumstance. I accept the man's proposal and told him the details about the case that should have put him in the clear. Why you should have just ran him out, man. People on the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the other car, and made my life hard, especially this last part. For giving face to false testimony, the witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you revealed those details to facilitate witness perjury. I did. Then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime, namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question and killed Mr. Windybank. You have perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windybank. You. Traitor! Got a chip out there. Bailiff! Restrain that man! At once! You did it! Fuck you, Gregson. You deserve that shit. That's it then. It's over. I despised my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. How about food, bitch? You grateful shit. So I set about studying to better myself. One day escape from that hellhole. Yeah, I did that. I admire determination. But then you decided to try to sell government secrets, huh? Wasn't paying you much, huh? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. But one day, I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. You're a fiend with acquired talent, so you are. I've money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need to do is go along with me, little plan now. Fucking Magnus McGilded, huh? I was to steal the ministry's telegraphic messages logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the ministry communications office, it was a simple enough task. The lure of the detective's offerings. Devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He had once been a music box maker apprentice. I imagine his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again, to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since he had left the slums 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you've become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. Both poverty had never broken him. Never corrupted him like that, and it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the reason. So I made up a story. I got some work for you, father. I need some music box discs made. Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I brought the score with me. These are 2, actually. I'll be delighted, son. In 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him make the 2 discs. Then by splitting the information in 2, you were taking considerable precautions indeed. Just to protect myself as much as anything. This meant that I could deal with McGilded in 2 separate transactions. The first involved the first of the 2 discs and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 Guinness. Then on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 Guinness. So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago? Why did he kill? Yeah. The exchange of the second disc. Yes. I sold the man information that way a number of times already. It seems he became reluctant to part with his money. It does make quite sense, Mr. Graydon. Why was it on the omnibus 2 years ago? Your father, Mr. Milton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded, not yourself. When I received the 1,000 Guinness after my first complete dealings with McGilded, I started to give 200 to my father for his troubles. My father realized something that was amiss. In time, he worked out that I was involved in something dubious. That he did, he said to me, next time there's the exchange, you let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore. That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climbed into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the disc I asked him to make. He never knew. Just like that, and I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him, and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilded really was. After 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore my father's name. To exact revenge. Revenge. As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. Crush any semblance of justice in this trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence was fixed, and the witness was bribed. This trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish. My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that honestness completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded back then, but I spent nothing in my arrangements 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself has shown me that. Are you saying that he contracted? I think you have the picture now. Have they twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free? I took matters in my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. That tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGilda's death that day was caused by this man. Everything is ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the car room. Don't tell me that was him. Where's the officer? This sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. This time for inspection. We're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. So that policeman came to tell Mr. McGill he examined that omnibus again. That's right. An imposter. Hired by me. Alright, it was an imposter. It wasn't him who killed him. Well, he did kill them, but he wasn't there at the time. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manners of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered McGilda inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. Spine-chilling account indeed. That was the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes. I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded. Yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 minutes ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime. When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. This is the first of the 2 discs, the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 Guinness for you, young man. What? What's this? Winterbank's pawnbrokery. Aye, this is a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I deposited there for you. There's no need to give a name. Just hand over the ticket, tell the fiend the watchword. I'll put a jewel in pawn for ye. We'll fetch a good 10 Guinness if you sell it, so it will. I never heard of a pawnbroker being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault. I want this wrapped up, bro. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, it would be that pawnbrokery somewhere. And that on the night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now. That's when I first met you on Winterbacks that afternoon 2 days ago. You had a description of Lestrade written down. What did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, that pickpocketer's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of Mr. McGilda's pawns. That he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket. I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And it was absolutely right. Ah yeah, sure enough. She did. All I needed to do was wait until the girl went to Winniebags to redeem the articles. But fortunately, she redeemed only McGilda's overcoat and the one disc that was in this pocket. The important music ball with the second disc inside was missing. Because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that Mr. McGilda was involved. Inspector, you've recovered fast. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. We started gathering the fella's possession and examining whatever we lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on the yard, but we had to keep it quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc was still there in the shop somewhere, so I knew it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So, that's what prompted you to break into the place that night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I located the music box I sold to McGilded on the shelves and forfeited articles. And the second disc was inside? Yes. I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. Then, something entirely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my shop? Bang. The gunshot rang out in the shop and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun and the bullet pierced your limb? Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew the war was happening, I fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately, for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. A sorry tale. It all took place in the blink of an eye. I didn't imagine Nash and Ringo ever even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Windy Banks on that wretched night. I mean, get to it. Send this guy into the slammer. It's probably a death sentence, 100%. That's treason. Earlier you called McGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. But what you have done is exactly the same. You become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Yes, I think I have. Alright, let's see the fireworks. This has been a long and exhausting trial. How many sessions? 4 sessions? Took... Oi. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Gaydon? He's been restrained, my lord. He's being escorted to the yard. This guy lied, bro. Will be charged with murder of Mr. Windybag and the stealing of government secrets. Very good. And you, Inspector. Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord, of course. It's just surprised that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. The fact remains whether or not you are doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector. Inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Ah, yeah? It's time for the final adjudication. The jury's ready, Mr. Foreman. Yes, sir. Garadeb Squadron, stand by, sir. This is it now. Last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will declare your final decisions to the crown.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Ah, that's the stuff. I'm off the hook. I don't think so. She's held the perjury. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there. Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world. Well, I'll be out some... Alright, I'm not finished with you yet. Eh? What? What are you looking at me like that for? Before you start enjoying your freedom, there's a certain other crime to consider, huh? Eh? 2 months ago in my courtroom, no less. You gave false testimony, did you not? In relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windybank's pawnbrokery, you also attempt to abscond with Mr. Gilda's property, it seems. Eh? I never done nothing of the sort. Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing Mr. McGill's clothes in your cell yesterday or anything. Oh, and just when I thought, just when I was getting excited about throwing a pie for Ginny this evening, turning our attention to the defense. Determining that when played together, the music box disc contained a message in Morse code was, well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, counsel. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. Demanding that government secrets be decimated before the entire courtroom. Ah. Very sorry about that. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what you've done, so... If I may say something on that point? Isn't that joke number 5? It's about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madame? Oh, well, it was just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me in the fact. Goodness, madame. An unhealthy level of recession one feels. But I must say that in my opinion, the sounds produced by those 2 discs were nothing more than that. A meaningless series of 2 different tones. What? What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all. My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain ministerial secrets, sunshine. This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know Mr. McGilded conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. But that man has admitted to his crimes. We have no need to pursue the matter further. Ugh. It really was going to bother me. Yeah, it's really going to bother me. Mr. Lestrade? Yes, my lord. That which you have seen today in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a grim catalogue of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child. She's 17. She's nearly a teen. She's like nearly adolescent. If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. Look, I reckon I've worked something out today. The world ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you gotta believe. You gotta start at some. You gotta change how you are yourself. You gotta start at home. Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to your born-again Miss Lestrade never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Yeah, I hope so too. Now, oh, here comes the fireworks. The fireworks. We're not done yet. We've probably got like another 20 minutes of conclusion here. We did it. Ooh-wee. Oh, where's the fireworks? Dangerous. Oh, damn. Gina got some fireworks as well. You know her smoke machine could do that? So good. That's all. Court is now adjourned. Nice. Yeah, what we're doing here. On a personal note, I must say you surprised me, my far eastern friend. Ah, oh. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within the Englishman. At the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of the Great Britain or the Empire of Japan. We're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock swords with you once again here in the car room. You did. Yeah, I was expecting that. When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust within another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand. Wait, does he know Sogi? You mentioned something similar earlier today. About total betrayal at the hands of a Japanese. What happened exactly? Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer. Whether you like it or not. Alright. Then I'll wait for that day if I must. Well, don't go ill on me. Now, Hodo. And Van Zeeks. It must be Kazuma. He has a link to Kazuma. Alright, going to be known as the Reaper of the Bailey and my retirement from the service 5 years ago. It gives me cause to wonder if that meaning has some deeper purpose. So, farewell, my learned Nipponese friend. Until we meet again. Ah! That was his caper. My work here is done. It's done. It's over at last. But... where's Iris disappeared to? It's Gina, though. Ah. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. I knew that you were innocent. Well, you did what you said, Miss Naoto. You believed me. Right up until the end. Yes, Odo's your name. It's all about it. I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? No one ever as before, see? Kept a promise, I mean, properly. That's awful. I figured something out today. All my life, growing up in the slums. I never trusted no one. But that's just because I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes. I think I can understand that. After all, I've had a taste of it 2 trials 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and paid for it. A betrayal left a big scar. You know, though? You really know. You know though, Gino? Gino? You know, though, Gina? I worked something out quite recently, too. Trusting someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. However your gut tells you it's the right thing to do and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh, well, if you say so. Don't make a fat load of sense to me, though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. For crying out loud, pack it in. I suppose. I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, alright. This is the way I see it, Inosuke. Defense lawyer is only good as his faith in his client. As good as his faith in his client. That comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean, Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believe I could be? On the interruption. What the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here, my dear fellow? Ah, that's the voice. It's too late for that voice now. Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Yes, it was me all along. I would have said it when finally you noticed me. You people with your insistent babbling. Ah, Mr. Shrooms. Yes, it was me all along, you see. I assume you've been taken back to the hospital, to be honest. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh. I happen to be aware of 1 or 2 phobies of the doctor who was tending to me. I really made my knowledge of them known to man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence, alright. I'm very above board. But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. The tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat at you. Thank you. Huh. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe. Have I irked you in some way, Mr. Strayed? Or you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed. Someone's been fine for our lives. Ah, well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood, it's true. So, I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps cold as ice, but, well, have a feel. Did you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Shrooms? And in some way, I suppose congratulations are in order for you too, Mr. Strayed. What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted? Well, naturally, it was my intention to alarm you, but... the acquittal in a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Shlomes. No alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who's been found not guilty in trial was worked up or winds up with dead anyway. Is that it? That's the very point I was trying to make. I exemplify about the fate of Mr. McGilden, in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Yeah, well, it doesn't bother me. Oh, really? Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean like God? Yeah, him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. She believes in God, huh? You won't have got the wrong end of the stick. There's some coves like that bog troll what are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, I'm upstairs making sure they get what they deserve. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper's taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like McGillis of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see. Alright, a trade in which you... yeah, whatever. Alright, just give it a rest, alright. As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcoming news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina. Well, there you are, Early. How long have you been there? Well, how long have you been here? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there. Ah, Iris, my dear. I do apologize, but wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a perchance for disguise. I was hiding in this room dressed as a bailiff. But these dolls didn't notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure, really. I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day. I'll be careful. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was hoping to throw a party for Ginny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you? Don't look like I'm going to be going nowhere for a while. You had the judge patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All of them offensive. What was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog troll stuff, what was in the log, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so I think you find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. But diving ain't an offense. It's a job, innit? I don't think so. Still, it's got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no. But I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon I could make a change. I'm gonna do something for all of them, like do for all of them lot like me from the slums. Something that makes a difference for them. Work as our assistant. Work as our assistant. I don't know if she is gonna work for our assistant. Officer Zalo, she's out on her way in Japan. What is it? Alright, the tears from Gina. Can't see it. No new sprite. Nothing. Miss Gina Lestrade? The prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gatehouse once. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then. Yes, goodbye, Gina. And good luck. Odo? Yeah? Oh no. Ah! What was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Indeed. Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase, Ithero, missing from your vocabulary, Mr. Strayed. Ithero? Ithero? On occasions such as this, I would recommend a simple thank you. Oh. Oh yes. It's good advice, Jenny. Simple thank you. Right, I see. The hat's off. New sprite. Use animation. Thanks. Auto. That's good sprite. Good sprite. Thank you for everything for what you've done. For believing in me. No. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. There we go. Good sprite. Good sprite. Got a new sprite. New sprite. New animation. Well, there she goes. I wonder if I'll ever see her again. She better be in the second game. Oh, I don't know what happens. Who knows? Ah. I bought a paper outside. It's a special edition, and this trial is all up on the front page. Pickpocket instance proven. Isn't that wonderful? You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Oh no, how silly of me. Ah, but anyway, you can visit her, right? Would you like the good news or the bad? Not again. Well, what do you say, Bruno? Early? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening anything but good news. Well, there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Let's not go there. Always the bad news first for me, yeah. Let's start with the good news this time, alright. The rain has finally stopped. It's a record level of rainfall, apparently. Alright. Well, that is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort. Alright then, what's the bad news? A huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out of the Dover has been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right. If we head to the station immediately, we might meet Cesaro. Alright. But there won't be a train, surely. Couldn't be that lucky. Say no more. I zipline. What do you think? Who do you think I am, Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. We heard now shall be there in time for dinner. I know a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole. Done. The great detective does it again. The great detective does it again. I happen to be aware of the number of rail transport directors' foibles. Foibles? I merely made my knowledge of them known to man, and he happily laid on the locomotive elementary. It's just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. Alright. There you go. This is gonna be a 3-hour long. Oh, there it is. Oh, the docks, man. I need to go for the toilet. But alright. Not that urgent though. It took somewhat longer than I had anticipated. Susie's boat must be about to leave now. Mr. Zato, where are you? Is she there? Oh, she's out over there. Look! It's like she's reading something.
Hold it!
Mr. Zato, wait! What are you doing? Mr. Naohara, what are you doing here? Came as soon as we could after the trial, I mean. We heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. They were both good news. Oh, I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful. Good news. Really wonderful news. The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your Encyclopedia of British Law, wasn't it? Was it? Damn, that's a big book. Oh dear, I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I was about to yeet it. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So, I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You... Zara-san. It's the cattle flap. Alright, hey, right. There was knee save, just in case. This is the critical part. At every game, there's always something we gotta get. It's the cattle flap. It's because of the peephole, Mr. Zato. Or maybe not. Let's find out. Let's find out. I deliberately altered the scene of the crime, and then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? On the evening of the incident, Mr. Shlomes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Yeah? We had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Oh. That was so much fun. I stole Runa's armband. Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me. Well, if it's so important, you should have paid more attention to it. Didn't notice it for ages. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapper man. So I pulled it up, I put it up my sleeve. Really? And then I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Windybank's with it later that night. I see. Then, yeah, why did she put a hole in it? Mr. Sholmes, leave me, Mr. Harder. Right. After Miss Harder left the shop, I started to think, that does start to play on my mind. Storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized he could only be behind that door. And at the moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang in mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So you used the flapper man to make the peephole in the door. It's captured in the photographic pin in the shop. By one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. Indeed, it was one of the first importance at that point. Precisely when the peephole was made, that information would prove to be Mr. Nowholder's greatest weapon. But naturally, without proof, it would have been amounted to nothing. When I looked through the hole in the door... Yeah, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remember that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Magnus McGill. I thought how he manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then, a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windybank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime. That's right, but then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in that case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of the locked room. Some to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have been a way to see beyond the door. Ah, yeah. For which, a peephole would be the very thing. Only the people I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so I wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? Is that why she did it? So it's why you kept it a secret, Susie. You never mentioned that you made the peephole to anyone, not even to the police. I know. I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong. A criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. Alright. Mr. Naldo was completely backed into the corner. You know possible means of escape. Oh, I'm gonna order this. Or maybe not. Alright, no, never mind. Wait. Let me BRB it. Let me BRB it. Hold on. Alright. I need to go. I had to go. It's full. My bladder. Alright, why didn't you tell me everything before the trial began? Dear fellow, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. Ah. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with the crime scene. So Mr. Zara decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone, for your sake, and Miss Lestrade. Mr. Zara. Truth is, when it happened, I did because I lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't have been convicted of the crime. The moment I allowed myself to think of that, it's the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Raiden is the one who lied in the witness stand using that peephole as a way to whatever it is, implicate. You know, there we go. That's the word, implicate. And besides, if the peephole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not sure she would have been acquitted in the end. Yeah. If there wasn't a peephole at the start, is that what you did? Save Gina's life? I don't even know. I don't think so. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo. You saved me too, for my regrets. Here we go, cutscene time. Oh no. Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation of the music box disc contains secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo. What a triumph to work that out. I'm full of admiration. Well, naturally, the argument was quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh, it wasn't. There was a communications officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. He said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would expect. After all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt they've written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher. I see. So then we could have never hoped to understand the message anyway. No, nonsense, my dear fellow. I've quite a zero-pi problem, I assure you. The candy bar, right? Ah. So. Gi. What? Sogi? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait. Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said Asogi. Does that word mean something to you? Means something. Asogi was the name of my best friend. What? But how? How did you know that name, Iris? Oh, I wrote it down during the trial before. When the message was playing on the music box. She described it on the fly. She really is a genius. Damn, yeah, she transferred on the square. I thought the message probably wouldn't have been written out in plain Morse code. So I tried various ways to put it. Yeah, of course these guys wouldn't understand. Because it's Japanese. Yeah, that is in English at least. Oh. It suddenly occurred to me, you see, there's more than one Morse code, not just the English variety. Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own languages. I don't believe it. Are you saying... That's right. I've only actually seen a trial of Japanese Morse code once before, but I think it's based on the Iroha panagram, isn't it? You mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says Asogi? Well, all of it. I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all of the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that? Mrs. Zato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes, I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications. Then, might I recommend, my dear madame, that you focus your efforts on the English version. Alright, be that as I may. Iris, show me the message, please. Of course. But what could this possibly mean? Whatever is in that long sequence is supposed to mean instant dots and dashes. It made the color drain from Sadada-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications? I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names. The first is K. Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on the disc? The second is A. Shin. A. Shin? I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gregson? Gregson? Gregson. Tobias. T. Alright. What's his name doing in the secret government communication as well? And the last name is... What's the matter, Mrs. Addo? It's her father. It's just so strange. So unexpected. Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep it in suspense. Must be her father, right? Or me. It's Jay Wilson. Oh, no. What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? Jay Wilson? You mean Daddy? It says only Jay Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then after the 4 names, it reads, if I translate the Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you've noted down, Iris. Oh no, it's Wilson. I didn't expect that. Just can't believe it. Greguson. Who would have thought? Wilson? I don't even know how they could get Wilson. Wouldn't it be Wilson? Never mind. There's communication between the Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So, Daddy could be in Japan then. Where's Susie and Rooney coming from? Oh, well. God damn, somebody needs to drop the bomb on her. Dad's dead. I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson. Oh, maybe, yeah, there's a lot of J's. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. We can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. Oh, no. This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of the very dark cave. Of a very dark cave, huh? I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside. Oh dear. The ship's going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel boarded for Japan. You're really going then, Susie? We issue a safe passage, Mr. Zato. Thank you so much. I wish you the very best. Mr. Zato, I had hoped to have you always by my side, to guide me and support me. Mr. Naoto, please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. I'm quite sure. I'll be back before you know it. Really? Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. A promise. About your manuscript. Ah. Oh yes. The Hound of the Baskervilles. Well, we'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naoto? Yes? Do you remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. On the SS Bureau when I was dragged out from the wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Suicidal takedown. You know very well I'm talking about after that. Strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-san's great legacy. Mrs. Zato. My instincts were right. I really want to believe. No. I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Let me take a drink of water. Are we done? Here it is, cutscene time. Oh.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least. Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead.
Roll the credits.
Of course there will.
It's a reference to the third game.
Happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
Sherlock.
After all,
Sherlock with the violin.
I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Ah, yes. Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Shalms? I have some rather awkward news. The railway company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently. Huh? Oh, don't tell me we're walking back. It caused such a commotion on the line. All the other trains had to wait at stations. But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I'll explain everything and how it was all your fault. Huh? Huh? Great friend, sir. I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. Not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Mr. Sato, you love defending yourself in court. Huh? It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. You really didn't look like the sort of man to do something so outrageous. See? Oh no, I'm going to be in trouble. Mr. Shlomes. Yes? A word, if you don't mind. Let me hear the objection. Bellow it, my dear fellow. Oh yes, I love Uno's words. I know he'll just use the one he'll use here. Just the one he'll use here. The big objection, huh? Then, I really must say...
Objection!
There we go. Yeah. And finally. Shu Takumi. That was a good one, but it's not over yet. Still got a lot more to go, right? In the following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot, though it transpired I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale, with used by Mr. Shlomes to solve an important case. And the money I've earned consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison. Alright. I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. I'm this busy. Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement. Some dry toast and instant coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfast. Alright, witness your testimony. It's riddled with contradictions. Exactly. Rarely do rare cobalt coins hide underneath rare stakes themselves. Wasn't this a throwback? Ido Nosa. I thought it was Isa Nosa. Ido Nosa. Can we skip this? Oh. Well, you know, there's something else here. There's like some extra shit. And delivered the Russian dancer to Shi in Shanghai. I laid low on the steamship for a while. Yeah, here we go. But last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board. I've done nothing wrong, it's Soseki. All I did was give Wagahai's offspring refuge in my pocket. The man brings some kittens on board, and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair. Well, poor Soseki is bringing on his cats. The offsprings of Wagahai. Lord Stronghand. You're a bit suspicious as well to me. Scientific execution will be the gold standard of the new age. I dreamt for a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts mesh together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment. I'm in it again. Want to hear it? Not bad, I suppose. For an amateur. For an amateur. The leadership puts me to shame. I'm surprised this guy hasn't been heavily reprimanded for what he fucking did in the car. Fucking Grayson. Mr. Gaudeb. Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Janine, my old bird. Must say, battling with those barely stairs every day. Oh, I didn't even read that fast. Rather well with the housework. Dude, got this business. Oh. The gossiping neighbors didn't realize the man of his house is his own maid. Yeah. My Rolly is back on the beat again, all thanks to the Reaper. There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting out small change in the gutter, poor guy. I'm better by now, looking out for Londoners, their drop at halfpennies, and my lovely wife. Oh, Pan. Oh, Rolly. That is just one scarf, don't forget. That is one scarf. Just one. Oh, there's Gina. What she's doing about. Looks like I'm going to be doing time for a bit now. The Iris comes every day for nada. So it ain't too boring. Very nice. He's always going around about all them cases what Shlomes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kind of interesting when you get to get into them. Yes, Gina, work with us. Yes, work with Holmes. Work with someone, please. If Gina isn't in the next game, blasphemy. And then I pickpocket. Oh, Graydon. Yes. I've announced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. With regrets, please. Give over, bruv. They ain't the Ash we used to know. We got time in here to plan the comeback of Milton and Skulkin. Oh no. The Three Musket Watson. Milking the neighborhood for all it's worth. Damn, these guys. I'm surprised this guy ain't sentenced to death after what he did. I wonder what the criminal charges are. Yeah. I don't know what happens to Ashley here. Is it Cesaro? Oh no, it's just back in the office, huh? Oh, there's Cesaro. It's a memory. This past 6 months has been a time I shall remember forevermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that's what life is all about. Now, Hodo-san, I promise. Your assistant will return to you one day. But for now, I'll leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. Yeah, there's my office here. Look at Wagga High. Good old 2221 Baker Street, eh? That's it. We're done. Surely. Is there another case? I don't think there's another case. I checked. Oh. Another. Oh, damn. Mark Oda. He's now Hodo. Oh god, do we see Casimir perish after this? Yeah, we remember the case. Very fondly, might I add. There's the poetry. I forgot what her name was. Will we see her come back? I don't know. There's the father and Susato. Got the guy's name. Alright, let's see what happens to Kazuma. I can't bear to watch after this. Alright, the second case. Oh no. He's done. Looking on behind us. Can't bear to see that. Can't bear to see that. Walking with Susato, maybe? Oh no. JC staff. I saw there. Alright. With the sword out. Is there someone behind us? Is Susato? Yeah, she is. I want to skip it, but... got some nice music. Oh. Sit back, relax, I guess. I'm gonna sit back, yeah. There's a lot of strong hand. There's the... bailiffs doing their duties work. Fair play and I forgot his name, Beppo. There's that son of a gun. The cheeky little guy, Mr. Magnus McGilded. Dude was crooked, real crooked. I wasn't expecting him doing like some government secrets and shiz. Very crooked and very crooked this man was. Alright, her lock. Says, hey, stay at my abode, will ya? What was this after? I think it was after, I believe. Oh, he's walking with us as well, huh? Gregson, Rowley, and... forgot... what's her name? Kind of forgot. Yeah, Deb. We could say Mr. and Mrs. Rowley. That counts, right? Sasaki. Even though it's Natsume isn't hunchback, surely. Small probably, but yeah. Alright, Iris gonna fall behind, it seems like. Seems like there's some space. I just know she's wearing heels at the age of 10. Bit crazy. That's some high... is it high heels? Who knows? Here goes the brothers. And Ashley. Damn, Gina. Yeah, there she is. She won't walk aside, sadly. Gina. There is no space. Oh no. Oh no, there is. Thought she was gonna do something. Nope. She's just charging it. Or maybe she'll shoot something. Who knows? It's us four. Just the four of us. Yeah. Oh, 3 hours. Damn. What a good session though. Alright, stand in front. Cheeky guys. Le Fin. Finished. The Adventures, the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Oh. Interesting photo here. Fleeting farewell. This is Sogi and me. Are we gonna save? No, that's it. we continue? Yeah, we'll go into the next one. All right, that's it for this session. It seems like we'll be starting on the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I don't know what else we could do here. Let's wait. Did it just kick me out? I don't know. I think it did. All right. So the next session, the Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. I don't know. Maybe not. We got No More Heroes 3, but probably make a purchase of that game before. And yeah, that's it. That's it for this session. 3 hours. It was pretty long, but it was good all the way through. I wonder who we're going to see this time around. I've got a sneaky suspicion who. Maybe Mr. Zato will play as. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the first playthrough of the Ace Attorney Adventures. And I'll see you guys next time. I'll catch you guys later.